What's going guys, Zennosh here, and today in this video of Exos Heroes, well, the Rood Zeon banner is finally out in the String of Creation Ray banner. And now the question is, are you still supposed to summon for the Rood Zeon? Is this still viable? Including other Fate Core hero units, that's going to be the Fate Core Anastasia and the Fate Core Baileysh. Are you really supposed to invest to CES in this content right over here? What are the scopes of investing your CES in this content? Well, let's discuss about those kind of things in this video today. Well, if you are a beginner and on top of that one, you can well some really good cash into this game, I would say go for it. It's definitely awesome, guys, because this guy right over here, Rood Zeon, is one of the best first Guardian hero unit, boasting to have a very superb attack stat as well as the defense stats. That's going to help him to deal a lot of damage with his rat damage, and also top of that one, being able to block a lot of damage incoming from the opponents thanks to his dragon scale shield. Yes, he's going to suffer a bit in the PvP content, but if you can really set up a really good team thanks to Raquel and the Baraka in your team, he is actually going to have easier time in suppressing the opponent starting round 1. Yes, with the Fate Core era, the problem is that she actually burst in the round 2. Alright, but if you have Raquel, Fate Core Zeon, and the Baraka team, you can start putting a lot of pressure on the opponents starting round 1. And that is another advantage that you have. So if you can really make some really clever adjustments, you still can have very good viability in the PvP content as well. So hey guys, still viable. That's what I'm really trying to say. But when it comes to PvE contents, all these heroes, guys, Fate Core Zeon, Fate Core Anastasia, and Fate Core Baileysh, these guys are just too damn amazing when it comes to solo the story contents or the PvE contents. Yes, you heard me right. When you are trying to solo so many contents right here, especially this story content, which you should be getting up to chapter 10 and try to clear it up as soon as possible, so that you have already you have already unlocked so many features in this game, and you are now able to just enjoy this game at the maximum level, right? If you just want to have that thing being around, definitely those first Guardian hero units are going to be a really great help indeed. They are really OP heroes when it comes to PvE contents, except for this path of trial where the opponents are just too damn freaking powerful. Okay, so I really cannot really guarantee you guys in this path of trials, but when it comes to the normal story content, oh my god, Fate Core Zeon, Fate Core Anastasia, or Fate Core Baileysh, whoever it is, they are just gonna make it really easy for you guys to just solo this content right away. Alright, so that is the case scenario right over here, because if you don't have first Guardian hero units, to get to the chapter 10 and to clear it out, it's just quite a very wild dream indeed. It's pretty much very hard, okay? So you have to keep that in mind as well. And the best place where this first Guardian hero units, or let's say the Fate Core Zeon, Fate Core Anastasia, and the Fate Core Baileysh is going to shine, is going to be in the challenge section and in the special fights. Yes, you heard me right. Why the special fight matters really a lot in this game? Because you are gonna get this item right over here called Star of Fate. Yes, this one. Because when you are going to use the Star of Fate in the Doty creation, you can get a lot of Fated Armors. Fated Armors are the premium type of equipments in this game, which is going to allow you to possess multiple amounts of Guardian Stones. That's gonna allow your hero units to be less vulnerable to the break status effects, or to have better defensive stats and many other things, which will just improve your character's battle performance. So Star of Fate is very essential thing in this game, which is very limited indeed, and you can really farm these kind of things a lot, especially if you can go into the challenge section and in any content right over here, try to fight in the special mode. Yes, you heard me right. Just try to fight in the special mode, and it's going to really allow you guys to get that Star of Fate. And with this Star of Fate, you can summon those amazing things called the golden armors, okay, the Fated Armors. Okay, so there we go, guys, and that is one thing right out there. And if you have a single the first Guardian hero unit, even though your team is really weak, you can still solo that content without any problem at all. Yes, that's one advantage with the first Guardian unit. Meaning like there are so many late game contents which you can easily access right away if you have the first Guardian unit. And that is one advantage of the Fate Core Zeon, Fate Core Baileysh, and the Fate Core Anastasia. And the another thing right over here in this game is definitely going to be the elemental restriction. Yes, you heard me right. Like let's say Fate Core Zeon is of the fire element. Fate Core Anastasia is of the frost element, and finally the Fate Core Baileysh is of the dark element. And right now in this content, as of today, guys, what's right over here is that it's kind of limited to fire content. Yes, meaning only the fire element type hero units can compete today. Alright, and that is the thing. So in that case, Fate Core Zeon or let's say Fate Core Magi are going to be the really good help to your team. Well, Fate Core Magi is not really present in that Rood Zeon banner, so definitely Rood Zeon is the only one who is going to be the savior for this content right over here for today, as of today, right? And when it comes to the day of the frost element, in that case the frost Anastasia or let's say the Fate Core Anastasia is going to be a really great help to you guys to solo that content without any problem at all as well. And when it comes to the Fate Core Baileysh, during those Mondays, I guess, in those light and dark days, definitely is going to be of a really great help to make sure he can to solo those contents and be able to get those premium rewards, especially this thing called Star of Fate. Alright, so that is one really biggest advantage when you have the first Guardian hero units. Alright, if you really want to excel on the PvE content, alright, right away, then these guys are just a must. Okay, and when it comes to the PvP content as well, as I said to you guys earlier, they are still viable. All you need to do is come up with a really good strategy. I have really faced some really good teams in the opponent team where they have really used their Baraka, Raquel, and the Fate Core Zeon in a really great manner, guys. And now, what are the advantages? What are the skill sets of the Fate Core Zeon that makes him really unique compared to any other hero units out there in this game? What is it about him that just is quite magnetic? What that is really charismatic. Alright, so first of all, guys, when it comes to the Fate Core Zeon, it's his passive skill that actually makes him really solid, guys. That's going to be the Dragon Blood stacks. That's going to be stacked up to like 7 times, which is quite reflective to his Wrath counter. Yes, he can always counter, even though he's at broken status effect, he's at break, or let's say he's stunned, he's frostbitten, or like, you know, he's just shocked or whatever that is, where he's totally incapacitated. Still at that time, thanks to the Dragon Blood Wrath, he's still going to counter the opponents with 350% of his attack at max, and that can really hurt the opponents real bad. Okay, and he will also keep on stacking up those dragon skill barriers, which is going to keep on providing him a lot of shields that is going to make him quite immortal at certain point as well. Yes, I mean, like, unless the opponent has Fate Core Iris in their team, Fate Core Zeon is quite really tough dude to really take care of. Okay, and the next thing is that, like, if there are the opponents who are disheartened thanks to the Raquel, he's going to get extra turn if he managed to kill them. Yes, you heard me right. He will get extra turn if he managed to kill them. And just think, he only requires 1 mana, 1 freaking mana to burst out his first active skill, and he can keep on spamming a deadly combo on the opponents right away over and over and over again. And with that thing said, guys, Rood Zeon can really annihilate the opponents in a very, very easier fashion. Okay, all you need to do is try to make him real fat, and if you have Raquel in your team, that's going to be really great indeed. And on top of that one, with Fate Core Baraka being around, like Rood Zeon can really stack up on mana really fast, and will be able to put a lot of pressure on the opponents when it comes to the PvP content. Okay, and with his second active skill as well, if he has like 10 over 10 mana, he can really deal some heavy damage on the opponents as well. So Rood Zeon is not really that bad, okay, when it comes to PvP content, like how many other people might say, but when it comes to PvE content, is still a god tier unit. That's what you really have to think about. Okay, but if you can really team him up with Raquel, that's going to be really fine. Next unit is going to be the Fate Core Anastasia. She is one of the really great healer out there. Well, she does provide herself and her allies on the same row a really great sustenance and durability with her dragon scale barriers, right? And with the dragon wrath, she's going to solo the frost element days challenge sections as well, and that's really great as well. Meaning like her rat damage can really deal some amazing damage on the opponents when she can stack up to 7 dragon bloods, so don't really do underestimate her. But as a healer, she always, I mean, like, she's going to provide that amazing amount of heal to everyone right away, which is a burst effect. Look at her first active skill, it's a divine baptism. That's going to provide a really great heal for all the allies, and even if your allies are near that situation, she's just gonna recover all of them up right away without any problem at all. I mean, like, she's just too cool with that. Okay, so that is right over there, guys. And sometimes you might actually want some extra nuke, and Fate Anastasia just provides that with a swag. Okay, with the second active skill, 525% damage to single enemy, and that is cool indeed. I like that. And the next thing is going to be the Fate Group Baileysh. Well, is not someone who you would be loving to use in the PvP content, because, well, his single target damage, or let's say, like AoE damage, is really pathetic indeed, and you would not really want to use those in the PvP con, especially those overtime effects. That's going to just promote those dragon blood stacks from the opponents, and you would not really love to have that one around. Okay, so that is it, guys. But when it comes to PvE contents, he's really a great unit indeed. Can solo a lot of contents, especially the light and dark stages. When it comes to that Monday stuff, it's definitely a great addition to your team. All right, and that is it, guys. Fatecore Zeon, I would really love to have him around. I mean, like, I would really love to try the team of like Fatecore Baraka, Fatecore Zeon, and finally the Fatecore Raquel. These guys are like, wow. I mean, like, they are just gonna make sure that your team is gonna consist of like very powerful firepower. Okay, the firepower is just gonna be like real damn amazing, okay, that is it, guys. And looking into the subs right over here, the Fated Heroes, Bernadette is quite cool as well. Well, she's a very, like, a common unit in this game, so, well, whatever that is. But she's quite cool. I mean, like, her first active skill can really do some amazing damage. The next one is going to be Mahar. Well, Mahar is like, it's so, not really that superb. And there is Majai, I like so. The next unit is going to be Chatty. Well, she's a really great unit indeed. She provides a barrier to the like back row allies, and that's going to really provide some really good sustenance right over there, right at the bat. And she also shares health with a very squishy hero unit, so most probably, most of the time, the DPS hero unit really do get a lot of protection from the Chatty. Next is going to be Sabrina, not a really great unit though, and the others are legendary hero units, from which I think the most notable are going to be the Adams and the Yao. Okay, so there we go, guys. All right, the next thing is like, also be prepared with that 35,000 says. Okay, I mean, like, yeah, that can be one backfiring situation right away. If you're lucky, you will get the Rood Zeon right off the bat. Maybe within first summon, maybe within second summon, or maybe within like another 5 summons. Okay, I mean, like, you might actually get Rood Zeon and just quit this banner right away, right off the bat. But I would say, like, like, be prepared with that 35,000 says, because, like, you may actually just get unlucky. All right, and you may not actually get Rood Zeon until your last summon. That's going to be the 50 summons. Yes, within 50 summons you can just get all the heroes that are listed right over here, and that will cost you about 35,000 says, and 35,000 says is going to be quite enough to get all those heroes that are listed right over here. So it's really up to you, guys. If you're a whale, go for it. If you are a free to play player, I would say, like, don't. Okay, really, I mean, like, there's just better ways to spend your cess, especially in the Fate Code Chance Increase banner. That is the best way, or the best place where you would really love to invest your cess into. Okay, and that is going to be really cool, because there is just really good chance for you guys to get really good other hero units as well that are right out there. But if you are really locked onto the Fate Code Zeon, then just go for it. Okay, but really don't expect a lot from them to do a lot of things, or a lot of better performance in the PvP contents, unless you are up with a very good offensive team. Okay, so that is my advice for you guys. These guys are definitely a great units for PvE content, but when it comes to PvP content, you should be a little bit strategic, but still they are quite still viable. Okay, so that is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to keep on enjoying the contents of my channel. See you guys in the next video.